Hey there, gamers. This is Charlie with Gamer Professionals here, and I'm joined by.
Yeah, this is Cesari, also with the Game Professionals, just joined. It's literally the first time hearing any of these people's voices. Glad to be here.
And I'm Nick. I've been here for about 5 months now, but I'm a contributing writer.
Yeah, Nick was the other guy in our Xbox E3 prediction discussion video. And for those of you guys who aren't really familiar with the channel or the content, if you're coming from like Twitter or somewhere outside of the already established YouTube community, for E3 this year we're going to prepare by doing some sort of podcast style prediction videos where we're going to discuss what we think we're going to see at each press conference. And the range of these videos is going to be kind of different, so just keep that in mind. Our Microsoft one is probably going to be a lot longer than any of these are going to be. Anyways, guys, so for this video, we're going to be discussing Bethesda's E3 press conference.
Yeah. To be honest with you,
done. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot of, I don't know. I feel like Bethesda's going to be, playing it very close to the chest here, so it's really hard to say, exactly. Haven't they already come out and said that, Starfield and Elder Scrolls is not going to be there? At all?
Well, they said next generation, which means it'd be surprising if we saw something there. Although I would be surprised if we also saw some kind of trailer of some sort.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's also been confirmed that Starfield is years off. I think at this point it's probably 2, 3, maybe 4 years off, and Elder Scrolls 6 is 6 years off. So I honestly last year they probably showed that teaser just because they didn't really know. They knew they needed to end with something bigger because a lot of their press conference was dedicated to smaller games that people care a lot less about. They had a lot of Rage 2 at their show, and no one really...
Which was leaked, which undercut it even more. Yeah.
Right. And half their show was an Andrew WK show, which I'm personally not complaining about. I thought that was great, but
I thought it was wonderful. I don't think the audience quite agreed.
No.
Yeah,
definitely not.
They were panning through the audience, and it was just a pretty much either deadpan or just really confused, stereotypical looking games journalists, all seemingly not too happy with what was going on.
But yeah, speaking of last year, I feel like I think the part of the reason this year is such a known quantity why it's suffering a bit is because they played a lot of their cards last year in an attempt to make that more substantial, right?
Right.
We had that teaser trailer for the Elder Scrolls 6 just to say, get off our backs. Yes, we're making it. Please stop bothering us about it. And yeah, Starfield is coming, and that's pretty exciting. Please, oh God, don't hate us for Fallout 76.
Right.
So it's interesting that you bring that up because I think Bethesda could do one of two things at E3. I think they could either completely bury Fallout 76 and pretend like it didn't even happen, or they could come out and be like, hey, we really messed up with Fallout 76, but here's the roadmap to improve that we're going to do to improve the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least a 5 to 10 minute mea culpa / roadmap for Fallout 76, given how much bad press that, because it's not a quiet tire fire. You can't ignore that. There's definitely gonna be something.
And I absolutely agree with that. I think that a lot of last year's press conference was dedicated to either Rage 2 or Fallout 76, aside from those teasers. But I think that this year we have two blessings in the form of Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it now.
Yeah, and I really, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have played either Wolfenstein 2 or 1 or the Doom reboot, but I personally really loved both of those games. Wolfenstein 2 and the Doom reboot, and I think that those are just the ways that they're building on top of those games. It seems to be making a really really solid follow-ups to those awesome games.
I mean, go for it.
Okay. I played the original Doom and I absolutely loved it. So I'm super stoked for Doom Eternal, and I think pretty much everyone is super stoked for that. And it's interesting that you bring up Wolfenstein because I have the first 2 Wolfenstein games, but they've been sitting on my shelf, and I just haven't gotten a chance to play them yet.
Play Wolfenstein.
Dude, please do yourself service and play them. They're
so good.
They're fantastic. I mean, with the acquisition of it and all like the quality studios they have, Bethesda's kind of become the dark horse first-person shooter publisher.
Right.
Like Doom was the best first-person shooter in ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a good Call of Duty every once in a while, but Doom was new and fresh. And now if Wolfenstein, X Starbreeze guys gets to continue pushing the boundaries of storytelling.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to Doom Eternal. I'm especially curious to see what we'll see on the multiplayer side of things now that they have the development in-house rather than sort of outsourcing the multiplayer, which was easily the weakest part of the original Doom.
Yeah.
But the Wolfenstein is going to be interesting because it's always kind of felt like this, like a stopgap, right? A stopgap because Wolfenstein 3 is likely going to come out for next generation hardware.
Yeah.
And it'll be really interesting to see what creative liberties they take with the spin-off, right? You get to do more with it. It'll be like a Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon type deal. Or I don't know. I just want to see what that game actually looks like outside of a canned trailer. I want to see a demonstration.
Yeah.
And
I was literally just thinking that in my head. Like when you said Far Cry, I was almost thinking the exact same comparison.
Have you heard of the 80s?
Yeah.
And I was something that in addition to like, you know, you guys talking to wanting to see it in action, I think that a really good way to showcase that is I've heard I'm not sure if this is absolute fact or if this is speculation, but there's been a lot of talk about whether or not Youngblood is going to have some kind of co-op multiplayer, and because the whole game focuses around two characters, and I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but if that's not already confirmed, I think showing off both local and online multiplayer is going to be something super huge. Maybe absolutely. Even like a sort of thing where it's like, oh, you like what they did with A Way Out, where it's like you buy this game and then you get a co-op experience where you get to send a download code to a friend and play it in co-op online.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I mean, actually, honestly, at this point, I'm not even going to pretend I know what's going to happen with that. We definitely had some games that have focused on two characters that have been single player as well, and that is Machine Games' forte. But either way, I'll be really excited to see what comes out of it.
And then, you know, I kind of feel the same way about Doom Eternal, that like I just think it's going to be an overall solid game, but we need to know more about it.
From the footage we've seen of Doom Eternal so far, we know, you know, obviously there are some new mobility options. The shooting's going to feel as great as it ever has. I'm curious, however, and this is going to sound like a weird thing to talk about with the Doom game, but since Doom 2016, it's worth bringing up how the story and the tone is going to be, right? Because one of the most pleasant surprises of Doom 2016 was that really deadpan tone that took itself seriously enough that you could feel okay investing in it a little bit, but also knew exactly what it was. Like, it wrote a really fine line there that all the footage I've seen of Doom Eternal so far, it's been good, but then you had like a sort of easy joke there, like, oh, demons think the term is offensive. Please call them this instead. I'm wondering if we'll get like a Borderlands 2 effect where they realize that it's funny and they go all out with it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
And are you hoping that doesn't happen?
Yeah, no, I want them to keep sort of the original understated nature of it. I wouldn't blame them if they went all out with it. But,
and honestly, that fear is pretty well reasoned, because I mean, we've seen. I personally haven't played Rage 2 yet, but I've seen a lot of things that you're kind of talking about in terms of like the humor and like some of the things they're talking about in the open world that might be included in Doom, and they might kind of take what they had in Doom, build on what they had in Rage 2, and then like kind of take it over the top to a point where it's not that enjoyable anymore. And I think that's definitely a valid concern.
Yeah, and I'm sounding kind of like a negative Nancy over here, but let's be clear. Doom Eternal is going to be great. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing the game itself. That's just the one like nitpick I'd have to say on my mind right now.
And I personally, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think it was either 2016 or 2017. They brought out at the Game Awards, they brought out Mick Gordon, and they did like a live concert of some of the Doom soundtrack.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think, you know, if they're gonna have anyone on stage like they did last year with Andrew WK, I think it would be
bring
awesome.
out Mick Gordon.
If they brought out Mick Gordon and they had some kind of like, maybe they're performing the music live to a gameplay demo.
Yeah, like I definitely would E3 is the time for that kind of pageantry, so that'd be fun to see. My one condition is that Mick Gordon has to wear the same awkwardly tight-fitting pants as Andrew WK.
Oh, I hope the stream isn't high-res enough.
we got 4K, we got 60 frames. You can see all of it. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but let's see what else. I mean, we sort of wouldn't be doing our due diligence without like bringing up that I wouldn't be surprised if we'd see some Elder Scrolls Blades there, or like an ESO update. Just another, hey, here's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I think the ESO thing is, that was something that I was also thinking about mentioning is. We actually, I'm not exactly sure when, but there was recently another new expansion. They usually do put out expansions like pretty close to or around E3 time, and they like do a bit of a fan reel where they show a bunch of or do like a sort of reel where it's a bunch of fan reactions to the new stuff. Yeah. And I think that's something that they're probably going to do again to kind of beef up their press conference.
I really hope that we see a tease from Tango. That they're working on something new. I love. I don't really like the first Evil Within, but I love the Evil Within 2, and I hope we get a new game, or at least maybe a tease.
And
it'd be interesting to see what those. No, that's good. It'd be interesting to see what those guys are working on because I played Evil Within 1 and was honestly so kind of turned off by it that I didn't give Evil Within 2 a shot, even though I heard really good things about it. So we could see the evolution of that and whether or not they. Yeah.
You know, what'd be really awesome is if Tango was kind of maybe not necessarily like ghost developing, but secretly helping the development of Doom, and did some horror and added some horror elements into that.
we just apply the Ubisoft model. Everyone's working on Doom.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think anyone finds Doom scary. So, I mean, like, while it would be cool, but then I think you'd be getting to that territory of, the game might be starting to take itself too seriously.
Honestly, Bethesda seems like one of the last, like, remaining publishers that sort of let developers be cordoned off on their own projects. Like, we haven't heard as many horror stories coming out of them about, oh, we were working on our own title, and then we need to push out Modern Warfare 3 at the last second, right? We don't get stories like that quite as much, so I'm pretty sure it'll be an id joint, but hey, gives Tango more time to do their own cool thing.
Yeah. And that reminds me that I also think, I always forget the name of the studio, but I do think that we're also going to see something from the developer behind Dishonored.
Arcane.
Arcane, yeah. Yeah, because they did Prey last, and it's been a while since Dishonored. It'd be a good pick. It's been a while since Dishonored. People are ready for it, and we're not It's one of the few not known quantities at the show. So that'd be fun.
I think a follow up to Prey would be. I think Prey 2 would be good.
Oh, that name's correct. You can't do that. It has to be called Prey as well.
Yeah.
And I think that it's also a really good chance for them to redeem themselves because I don't know if you guys remember, but the first Prey game had like a really kind of iffy launch.
It had a lukewarm reception, but I feel like at the end of the day, like people for the most part enjoyed the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the people that really like that kind of immersive sim ended up eventually picking up and go, oh, actually, this looks really good. And then I was actually one of those people who just completely dismissed it upon first seeing it, then picked it up on a sale and go, oh, wow, this is like doing Deus Ex better than new Deus Ex. I'm gonna go figure it out.
I remember my friend telling me like, oh my god, you have to check out this game. It's just like Dead Space. And I was like, oh, really? I played the demo and I was like, wow, this is nothing like Dead Space. So then I didn't end up buying it.
But yeah, and I think that aside from what we've already discussed, I think they're gonna have like one kind of surprise sort of thing, like what they've done in years past, where they had the Elder Scrolls, not the Elder Scrolls Blades game, but their other Elder Scrolls card game.
Okay. I actually just forgot about that till you mentioned that.
But I do think that we're going to see something from that, and I think we also are going to see some like Elder Scrolls Blades thing, because we actually haven't gotten a release date for the Elder Scrolls Blades Switch port, which has been confirmed, and I think it's also coming to consoles, right?
Ooh, I actually don't know that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, so it is announced for all consoles, but from what I understand, we don't have a release date for any of those consoles, so I think honestly, like what they did with the Vault,
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter, yeah. With Fallout Shelter, where they kind of shadow drop that on Switch, I think, honestly, E3 is a good time for them to shadow drop Elder Scrolls Blades onto all the consoles and other platforms that it might be available on.
Yeah, definitely. You get some free excitement out of saying, and you can download it now for all the people on the show floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whereas before, like I feel like an Elder Scrolls Blades announcement, you kind of like, okay. Oh, I can play it now. Great.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that I don't know exactly how long or how many people have had access to it, but I've heard, I'm not sure if the beta's already open, but I do believe that there's been some early access stuff going on, and from what I've heard, the reception's also been pretty mixed. Apparently, there's a lot of typical mobile game elements in there.
And while I was gonna say, like, you know, while people would be excited, like, oh, you can download it now. I really don't think anyone is super jazzed for this game, to be honest with you. So
it's like a Diablo Immortal situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, okay, well, maybe I'll get 5 minutes of enjoyment out of this game, but who cares, really?
Oh, nothing's as bad as Diablo Immortals. Bethesda is not going to trot out Elder Scrolls Blades as the new Elder Scrolls game you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that we're gonna see overall, like in comparison to that presentation with the original introduction of Diablo Immortal, is we're gonna see some like, not just, I don't like using the word cringe because honestly I think it's so overused now, but something like that where it's just like, this shouldn't be happening, this is a bad idea, they're still gonna do it, and they're not committing enough to it, and that's making it worse. And I think
are you thinking like the presentation itself or the games?
I think it's gonna be like a presentation in relation to a game, and something is gonna like go wrong, because I mean last year we saw what happened, not necessarily the Andrew WK stuff, but some of the other stuff that happened in the presentation with some of the people talking, and they were doing some like small sort of bits that really didn't work, and then they tried to tie it into gameplay that also didn't work.
Well, I think it'll be interesting just to see what Todd Howard does this press conference, because I mean, he basically pulled a Sean Murray last year and basically lied about Fallout 76 to everybody's face. So I wonder if he'll like make a joke about that, or if he'll just like maybe come out and be sincere about it.
It's definitely going to be a joke, awkward laughter, sincere couple of sentences, kind of like sort of deflect the audience, get that out of the way.
Yeah, like Ari said earlier, like a mea culpa sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
I think everyone would be easier to forgive Todd because, you know, everyone loves him. Yeah. So
But yeah, so I think we've discussed everything that seems likely to appear during this press conference. You guys have any like last minute big predictions to throw out?
No, not really.
No, that's pretty much it. Although I will say, if they really wanted to blow everyone's mind, they would have some kind of pre-alpha demonstration for Starfield. Like, be total bullshots, but like that's the thing you would do to get people going, holy shit, this press conference. As opposed to, that's what I thought.
Or show another JPEG image for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Whoa, it looks like a mountain landscape.
I know.
Mountains confirmed. Get that.
How excited are you guys for this press conference?
Okay, so Doom is gonna carry it for me. I really like Doom, and also Wolfenstein, I guess. But I overall, I'm probably, because I'm not a huge horror guy, so I think seeing something from Tango is not gonna do a whole lot for me. Assuming it's gonna be something similar to The Evil Within. So personally, I'm sitting at like a 6 or a 7. What about you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm like probably at like a 5. Like, I love Doom, but like that would be like the only thing. If there was nothing from Tango or nothing from Arcane, and then they were talking about Fallout 76 and the roadmap and mobile games, and then the only cool, like, because I think Doom Eternal is going to get a major focus, and like as cool as that is, you know, it doesn't carry the entire press conference for me. I think Wolfenstein Youngblood could raise my excitement a little bit, but I don't know. I'm probably at like a 5 for my hype level.
And you are?
I'm at a 6 as well. Even as someone who loves Doom, like loves the shit out of Doom, and loves Wolfenstein, and would also like to see a new Evil Within from Tango. there's going to be so much blades, man. I can just feel it. I can feel the filler right now already.
Yeah, and then and people are going to be looking at this press conference like under a microscope. It's going to be like everyone's going to pick it apart and be like, okay, is this like actually real, or is this how the actual game is going to be? Just because Fallout 76 was such a huge disaster that everyone is going to be really looking at Bethesda, because I think they've lost a lot of trust in their fans. So I think this is like their redemption time.
Mm-hmm. Or more accurately, because they can't redeem themselves right now because all of their projects are far down the pipeline. Yeah. They're hunkered down and hope it passes over time.
Yeah. Or that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much for listening / watching to this, or I guess listening to or watching this Bethesda E3 press conference predictions video. Guys, where can they find you on Twitter or on social media in general?
You can find me on Twitter at NJF Productions. I'm also on YouTube, and you can find my articles on Gamer Professionals.
Mm-hmm. And you can find me on Twitter at Lapses in Taste, and also on my Twitch channel, if I ever use that, with Ronaldo Live. And I'll also be contributing to Gamer Professionals for now, which I'm very excited about. Glad to be with you guys.
Woo.
I know. Welcome to the team.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to have you.
Yeah, let's see. Welcome to the team in the comments, as well as your predictions for this press conference and your take on our predictions. And most of you guys already know where you can find me. I'm at CHAS_MKE on both Twitter and Instagram, and my YouTube channel is Chaz CHAS. Most of you guys on here already actually came here from my channel. So, anyways, thanks all very much for watching. Peace out.